Hey trainers, what's up and welcome back to the lab. It's been so long since I've said that. I have moved, as you can see, with the boxes in the background and the fact that I don't have a green screen. We're working on that. I have moved and a new battle pass came out while I was moving, so I thought to get back into the swing of things, let's go ahead and review the battle pass and all the decks it comes with. If you don't want to watch the video and you just want to know what I think about it, the battle pass is really good. It's very generous. It's free to get, basically. You play 10 days, get a daily quest done. You have 600 gems, you buy the premium battle pass, and then you just play it every day until you finish it. But let's go ahead and look at it and see why I like it. Okay, so the battle pass is again 50 tiers with no bonus tiers, which is a bummer, but it's honestly very generous like the last one, and still with the 60 gems from one daily quest, you get one of those a day. You do 10 of them, you get 600 gems, you can buy the battle pass and most likely complete it. As long as you log in and do your 2 dailies every day, it's pretty easy to complete. It's not grindy at all. You can grind it if you want, but you don't have to. And it comes with like 8 decks. I'm not 100% on how many decks. It comes with a lot of decks. Let's go ahead and look at the first deck it comes with. And the first deck it comes with is going to be Miraidon EX. Now, these are great beginner decks, okay? But I was disappointed that they are not optimized. They're not as good as they can be, right? But it's very easy to use. It gives you 2 free Miraidon EXs, which is great. Gives you a lot of great standard cards. Beach Court, I'm pretty sure, is going to become a new staple in standard, as well as Energy Search, Professor's Research, Ultra Ball, because we don't have Evo Incense anymore, as well as Escape Ropes and Level Balls, Illuminion, basically a full play set of Boss's Orders. It's very good, and the battle pass also rewards you with small things to tweak in the deck to make it even stronger. For example, on tier 2 they give you a whole Miraidon EX for free, as well as an electric generator, which you can throw in the deck to make it a little bit better. And then over on tier 4 we have a free Raichu V, which is a good way to get Dynamic Spark in, which lets you hit for the VMAX numbers. And you also get a Raikou V, which is a great card just to throw in the deck as a lightning type. Maybe get rid of the 2 Regielekis in there for this. It's up to you, but they give you cards to really fill out and beef out the deck. And if you only have to build like 1 extra Miraidon EX, maybe 2, because that's your main attacker, you're doing fine. You only really need 3 in the deck. It's very generous with what it gives you. And further down the line, it also gives you another Raichu, another electric generator. It's just... They give you this beginner deck. They're like, here, play this. And they're like, oh, here's some extra electric cards. Go ahead and check those out. It's very nice. And then on the premium side of things, we get Gardevoir EX, which is a great deck, but I am peeved they didn't give us the baby Gardevoir with Arcana that I have a video about, actually, fun facts. There's this one card that makes this deck so good, and they just didn't include it. But luckily it's cheaper to make. This would be the Gardevoir you're going to be wanting to make if you're going to play the Gardevoir deck. Super not expensive, 425 for 1 card, and you even get a nice little choice of a full art, non-holo, burst holo, and holographic. So if you're going to play the Gardevoir EX card, if you plan on playing it, this is going to be one of the first things you want to build. You're going to want to put him in the deck because this is going to be your main attacker in that deck, believe it or not. But I mean, the deck itself is good. They give you some rare candies, some nest balls, which are going to be basically the new quick balls. Palpad, it cannot be understated how good Palpad is, as well as fog crystals. You can now finish out your boss's order playset right there. It gives you a full playset of Arvins. You get a Vitality Band, which is kind of like the new choice spell, as well as Defiance Band. They made that a little bit interesting. And then Drifloon, don't really know why they're here. You could probably get rid of these and beef up, get like 4 of the baby Gardevoirs, maybe get 1 more Gardevoir EX, and you're good to go. The deck is a lot of fun too, which is really cool. The deck is really fun, which is really cool, and it's not expensive to upgrade either. And as you go up the battle pass, here we are in tier 1. They give you a free Shadow Rider Calyrex V, which you can use as an attacker in the decks, especially if you're going to make a VMAX. And then tier 3, they give you a second Shadow Rider Calyrex V right there, as well as a battle pass. At tier 5, they give you 2 Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAXs, which you can then use with your Gardevoir deck, which is awesome. They like have this like here's the baby deck. Now upgrade it with these extra cards, which is a good way to teach new players like how to edit their decks and how to switch things around for things that work for them. As you can see, it also offers a lot of packs, like 5 in the beginning, then 3, then none, then 2, none, 5. They're giving you a lot of stuff for free, and it's phenomenal. I love that the Pokemon Company does this. If they only fix the bugs have been a lot better. I have to give them that. The bugs in life have been a lot better. But this is a Battle Pass review, so let's see what else we get in here. We get another Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, cool, and a Radiant Serena. Sick, a Radiant Serena, so that's not bad. Always love to have one of those in our collection. Anything that really stands out to me, though. Get more Cynthia's Ambitions. Here they give you a full Gardevoir EX, so there's your third Gardevoir EX right there. More Electric Generator and a Rezu. Okay. Like it's not bad. They're kind of filling out your staples right now with all the new cards. Forest Seal Stone. Oh my gosh, it gives you a Forest Seal Stone. That's great. That's a great card. Pretty expensive to make if I remember correctly too. A lot of Electric Generators I'm now noticing. A lot of Battle Passes as well, which is cool. Battle Pass is a great card, especially if you want to play those Mew decks. And also I like how in the bottom one, so the top one gives you like all standard packs, right? You're getting Scarlet and Violet packs. But in the bottom, in the premium tier, they're giving you Crown Zenith, they're giving you Silver Tempest, Lost Origin, Pokemon Go even. I really like how they do that, so if you are joining late, you can maybe pull some cards you need. Like maybe you'll pull like a Radiant Charizard or something like that. I like that quite a bit. What else we got going on? Anything else that's really that big? We're already at tier... What's that tier 25? Usually there's something big at tier 25. Not today. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's see. Okay, so last Battle Pass, they gave us like 4 free decks, which was awesome, right? They had 2 free decks in the beginning on tier 1 or tier 0 for the basic and the premium. And then on tier 25, they had 2 more decks. And here I'm not seeing that. So bummer, but honestly, that's right. They don't give you those decks in the Battle Pass because they just give them to you outright. So we're gonna go over the decks that they just give you, right? They give you, if you buy the Battle Pass, you get Miraidon as well as Gardevoir EX. They also just give you Arcanine VX, Giratina VStar, Koraidon EX, Origin Form Dialga VStar, Origin Form Palkia VStar, Regieleki VMAX, and Serperior VStar, which is a great spread of decks for you. You have 4 brand new decks with the EX cards in them, and then you have 4 very staple-esque decks from the past, where you have like a Lost Box deck, you have a really gnarly ramp up deck, you have a turbo deck, you have a fast hitting switch around electric deck, and then you have a very annoying Healy grass deck. And honestly, the fact that they gave these to us like this is great, although I am going to nitpick now. So let's go over the decks, see how they are, and see what tweaks we can make to them to make them actually good competitive decks, right? These are my nitpicks. Here we go. So for Arcanine EX, it's not bad. It's actually pretty well set up with the 3 Growlithe, 3 Arcanine, 2 Charmander. And you get a free Radiant Charizard with this deck, which blows my mind that they're just giving it away for free. It's honestly not bad. If you were really trying to optimize this, I'd probably bump up the Charmander to 3, the Growlithe to 4, bump up this. Now I'd leave the Charizard at 2, and then maybe bump the Moltres and the Heatmor out, because we're trying to attack with Arcanine. We'll use Radiant Charizard if we're in a pickle. Not a bad setup though. You could probably just use this out the gate, and as long as you're focusing on the Arcanine, you're good to go. For the trainers, you get the Magma Basin, which is a great card, especially because if you damage the Arcanine, you get more damage out of it. Experience Share, so you don't lose all your energies. It's pretty good. Defiance Band, Rare Candy for the Charmander to Charizard. It's honestly a really well put together deck, and this is, if you were brand new to the game, this is one of the decks I would recommend to you to just take right out of the box and play with it. Solid. We like this deck a lot. There are some small tweaks you can make to it. I'm going to make videos about all the decks and how I would upgrade them in the future, so look for those. If this video's been out for a while, you can probably find it on my channel by now. But I'm making the videos. I'm just kind of giving a quick overview of every deck. The goal of this deck is to get out the Arcanine EX and to get out the Charizard, because Charizard has this ability, Burn Brightly. Each basic fire energy attached to your Pokemon provides 2 fire energies, but you can only apply 1 at a time. So when you use your attack with Arcanine EX, Bright Flame, it says discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. If you have this Charizard in play, you only have to discard 1 energy. And then you could Raihan it back, you could just attach one from your hand, you could do a lot of things to get it back. So it's a really fun deck. It hits really hard, really quickly. I wish that Choice Belt still existed, because the 250, I don't know. It feels a little weak. But then again, you also have the Defiance Band, which gives you 30 more damage if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent. So it's not terrible. Pretty good deck. All right, so this is the Miraidon EX deck, and honestly, there's a lot you could do. I would honestly ignore this deck completely, right? Like, why does it have an Ampharos, 4 Regieleki technically, and Pachirisu? There's so much better cards you can put into this. You can put like Raikous into this, Raichus into this. You're getting out your Miraidon, and this is what you're swinging with. So you want another Miraidon, which you get in the Battle Pass, which is great. But I would ignore this deck completely. It's not that good, but Miraidon's fun, and it's a good, and if you're new to the game and you're playing other people new to the game and you're using these like free decks, it's not bad. But if you're going online against random people, you're going to want to buff this deck up quite a bit. Yeah. But the trainers it comes with, actually the trainers it comes with aren't great. 4 Professor's Research, 3 Bosses, 3 Beach Court. Beach Court's I really like Beach Court in this deck because it lets you switch out your Miraidons because they can't attack after they attack, so it gives you free attack. That's fun. Ultra Ball's great, Level Ball's great, maybe Nest Ball. You don't really need Nest Ball though, actually, because you have Tandem Unit. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 basic electric Pokemon, put them on your bench. So Nest Ball isn't really necessary. Level Ball's here for Flaffy, so we can attach energies from the discard to Miraidon. And the thing that's crazy about this beginner deck is it has 14 energies in it. Now, 1 Miraidon takes 3 energies to attach to. You also have Flaffy, which means that you are attaching cards from your discard to your Pokemon. Why do you need 14 energies? You need 9 energies minimum. That's 3 Miraidon, 3 energies on each, 9, maybe 10 or 11, but 14 is egregious. Plus, you could probably add a Radiant Greninja in here really easily, because if you're throwing the energies away, the Flaffies are just giving them back to you. It doesn't matter. That would probably work really well. But I'll say what I'm about to say for a deck further down the line, but it's not a bad deck, don't get me wrong. And I love how the game gives you these Miraidon EXs for free. That is so nice of them to do. And why not look at the other Battle Pass deck, Gardevoir EX? Now, I've already showed you the Gardevoir I would use in this deck. The Shining Arcana one, it's just good. It does a minimum of 150 damage with 3 energies attached, and then if your psychic energies are in the discard because of Gardevoir EX's ability, you can put them on the Gardevoir, and it costs 2 damage tokens, so you can do a maximum of 6 extra energies with this. It's not bad at all. You can also draw the top 2 cards of your deck, and then if there are any energies, you can put them on it. You can hit ridiculous numbers with this. There's a couple things I would add to this deck. Number 1, I would add a Manaphy, because you're going to be weakening up your Pokemon with Gardevoir EX, right? So you're going to want a Manaphy with this deck, and you could probably get a Radiant Greninja, right? Because Radiant Greninja, you throw the psychic energies into the discard, and then this Pokemon will attach your energies to your Pokemon. You're also going to want either like a Rescue Carrier, not a Rescue Carrier, Ordinary Rod. You're going to want to bring Ordinary Rods so you can recycle those baby Gardevoirs. And also, you got to make sure you're maxed out on rare candies. You know what I mean? You got to be absolutely maxed on them. But honestly, these aren't terrible choice of trainers in just the base set. You could probably get some better ones in there, but it's not bad. And the 11 energies isn't bad either, because you're recycling the energies, like I said. So it's not a bad deck. This deck is bad. The Battle Pass version of this deck is bad, but the fact that you can make it a good deck so quickly makes me like this deck. All right, so here we have the Giratina VStar Lost Box deck. I think this deck is perfect. There's maybe a couple things you can add to it to make it even better. So with Aurora Energies getting cycled out, this deck's gonna get a little bit weaker because you can't use the Aurora Energies to power up Yveltal or Radiant Charizard anymore, which is what made, in my opinion, this deck really scary. But this is still not a bad version of the deck. You're more relying on Giratina V and V-Star than you are with Sableye and Yveltal and those types of Pokemon. I will miss that deck. That deck was a lot of fun. But like, overall, this deck isn't bad. It's really well made. It's pretty well optimized for what it is. This is probably one of the stronger starter decks that they give you for free. And I mentioned this deck is free if you just play the game. Yeah, it's a great starter deck. It's a little bit more complex than the other starter decks because you have to deal with the Lost Zone and you really have to weigh your decisions importantly. But this deck is good. It's great. Very strong. Here we have Koraidon EX, which isn't bad. I don't like it that much. My big reason is because of Dino Cry ends your turn. You attach 2 basic energy from your discard to your Pokemon, and then it ends your turn, which sucks. And then number 2, it has a 2 retreat cost, right? And also, Wild Impact during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. It's kind of similar to, it's like a worse Miraidon, basically. Miraidon, you can use its ability to get more Pokemon onto your bench, but doesn't end your turn. This is Energy Accelerant, but it ends your turn. Yeah, it puts you 3 turns ahead, 2 turns ahead technically, maybe 3 if you're counting that turn, I don't care. But it's not as fluid, if that makes any sense, you know what I mean? Great Tusk, cool, 250 damage, 50 damage to himself, not really that great. And also, if you're going up against Psychic decks like Gardevoir and stuff, all of these are just gonna get one shot by Psychic types. I love Reverum with Rumbling Engine. Once during your turn, you may discard a card and then draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. This is probably going to become a staple very quickly. I really like it. It's kind of like a Bibarel and a Radiant Greninja in one. It's pretty nice. And of course, it has the Lucario in it with Roaring Resolve. It lets you hit really big damage, but you have to discard all your fighting energy. So this deck is a discard energy deck from your Pokemon to do more damage, but they don't really have a good way to reapply the energy without, well, you only have Dino Cry, and it's not that great in my opinion. So this deck is lackluster in my opinion. Maybe you can make it work with some stuff. You can get Rock Chestplate going with Lake of Acuity, which makes you take like 50 less damage with both of those combined. It's supposed to be tanky. Maybe you can get this and the Rock Chestplate, and maybe the 50 damage from Great Tusk doesn't affect them, but you only have 1 Great Tusk in here too. They really want you to swing with a Wild Impact and retreat for 2 retreat costs. They even put no, they don't even put the Beach Court in the deck to give it a 1 retreat cost. Yeah, maybe you get lucky with Gutsy Pickaxe and you get to put on energies and stuff like that, but no. I'm not a fan, which is sad because I like Koraidon more than Miraidon as like a design, but Miraidon's a much better card. So Origin Form Dialga VStar. I do have a deck on this, although it is a different deck. They went with the Magnezone route. I went with the Bronzong route, which lets you juggle energies around. Also, they went with the Zamazenta instead of a Zacian, and I'm not too sure how I feel about this card at all. Because basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to get out your Magnezone and your Dialga VStar, load it up with 5 energies, hit Star Chronos for 220, take another turn, and then just start Metal Blasting over and over. Because once this Star Chronos happens, if you can get a knockout with it, take 2 prizes, and then Metal Blast and take 2 more prizes, the game's already over, it feels like. It's a very strong deck. And this deck's pretty well optimized for what it is. It has the 1 Magneton, 4 Magnemite, 4 Magnezone, relying on the rare candies right here to go ahead and evolve into the Magnezone. It's not bad. You could definitely change up some things. Zamazenta as a secondary attacker, 120 plus 30 damage for each prize card your opponent has taken, can get kind of ridiculous really quickly. The only thing you're worried about is fire. So Arcanine decks are a little bit scary, but it's a good deck. The trainers it brings, Tool Jammer's not bad. You could probably bring some better ones. Energy Recycler, in my opinion, is kind of necessary. And then 14 energy seems about right for this deck. So if you like metal decks, it's pretty good. It's not a defensive metal deck, in my opinion. It's more of an attacking metal deck, like a very offensive. I like my defensive metal decks. This one's the opposite, but it's good, you know? Next up, we have Origin Form Palkia VStar. Now, the deck they give you is hilarious. It's not good. Okay, let make that clear. This deck is not good, but it's so funny because they're using the Fidian with the Swim Freely ability, the Oceanic Accompaniment. If one of your Pokemon has Swim Freely, you can just attach as many energies as you want from your hand to that Pokemon, which is the Dugong, it is the Seadra, that's it. Dugong and Seadra, and then it could evolve into Kingdra, it could evolve, yeah, it doesn't matter. Because each of these has an ability, its attack lets you do more damage with more energies on it. Dugong's my favorite with Flow Return. You shuffle any amount of water energies you want that are attached to this Pokemon back into your deck and it does 40 damage for each card you do. You can never deck out this way. You will just keep loading it up every turn with 0 cards in your deck and you'll use it. But I think this card's better in a single prize deck, like a fun single prize Dugong deck. This is trying to be a Palkia VStar deck, and I hate all this other stuff. So you know what I would do? I'll give you a quick hint. Take out everything but Palkia VStar, Radiant Greninja, and Manaphy, right? And then I would probably add Ice Rider Calyrex. If you're trying to just get away with Origin Form Palkia, that's fine too. It's just, I don't understand why they did this. This is really funny to me. But important to note, they give you a free Radiant Greninja. And that's huge. That's huge. They give you a free Radiant Charizard and Radiant Greninja. Those are the 2 most used Radiant Pokemon. That generosity. You don't see that a lot with other card games online. I play a lot of online card games, I know, trust me. The only one that might be this generous is Legends of Runeterra, but still that one's kind of a grind to get cards. And also the trainers it has in here are great. You got Rare Candy, you can dump that if you're gonna dump the rest of the Pokemon. Lake of Acuity, I can't say that to save my life, man. It's not bad, minus 20 damage. And then the Melanies, I'd get more Melanies in this deck so you can power up by discarding energies quicker. Candace, not really sure why you would throw Candace in this deck. Probably drop that. Hisuian Heavy Ball's great. Maybe add 1 more of those. Nest Ball, probably get a couple more Death Balls, Level Ball, and Battle VIP passes. I call these Battle Passes because I'm stupid and I'm sorry. But the great card for this deck, especially you're trying to turbo out your Palkias, get them charged up with 2 energies, and then just start swinging and taking knockouts. That's the goal of this deck. 11 energies isn't bad for this deck because you're going to be using Melanies and you're going to use a lot of energy tossing things like Radiant Greninja, so 11's not bad. It's just this deck's hilarious. Why'd they make it like this? Do not recommend this deck in its current form. Change it up a little bit and it might be good. Now, this is the deck I was talking about. This is the better Miraidon EX deck. Here's what you're going to do, right? So first off, it gives you a free Raikou V, which is a great card. If you lead with this card on your first turn, you get a free draw with Fleet-Footed, right? And then it gives you Regieleki V, which is good, but it gives you Regieleki VMAX, which gives you 30 more damage on your basic lightning Pokemon. So Miraidon EX, it's a basic lightning Pokemon, meaning instead of hitting for 220 per turn, no, you're hitting for 250. Also, Regieleki VMAX, free retreat cost. If it gets bossed out, you can just retreat it for free. And then it has a 220 attack, max thunder, and lightning. Not terrible. But what is terrible about this deck is all these other cards in it. I hate them. I don't know why they're here. But Chirisu, Regieleki, Zeraora, get them out of here, right? We want probably 2 Raikou, 3 Miraidon, and then 2, and then 2, and then maybe you could throw in a Raichu or some other electric type Pokemon, like V Pokemon, to cover like more damage or something. That's why I say Raichu. Raichu does 60 damage for each energy you discard. And maybe add the Mareeps and Flaffies, right? Maybe like 3 Mareep, 2 Flaffy, and this deck becomes really, really good. Because, you know, Miraidon's hitting for 250. I really am a fan of this deck. Not the deck they give you, but the deck you can make this into. I'd probably change around this a little bit. Electric Generator, in my opinion, is not necessary with Flaffy. And then 14 energy, it's a little bit high, but I don't really care. This deck's good. Not as is, like I said. Put the Miraidon in there, get rid of these Pokemon. Put like 2 or 3 Miraidon in, another Raikou, because you'll get one in the Battle Pass, and then 1 or 2 Raichu, and then maybe the Mareeps and Flaffies, which you've already gotten from the Miraidon deck. And it's great. It is so funny. Good stuff. And now I was surprised to see this deck. This deck's not very popular, but it's very good and very annoying to play against. I was surprised to see it in here, and it's not bad. The goal is to get your Serperior out with this Cricketune, because it will have 310 HP, which is ridiculous. You cannot kill it, right? And because there are no Radiant Pokemon in this deck, if you throw in like a Radiant Serena, which you get in the Battle Pass, you could just heal like just 20 damage every turn. It doesn't matter. Becoming nearly unkillable. Equipping the Leafy Camo Poncho makes it so your V-Star and VMAX Pokemon are immune to your opponent's supporter cards, so Boss's Order doesn't work on it, things like that. And it's just a funny deck that I did not expect to see, and it's pretty good. Maybe drop these two Altaria. Definitely keep the Manaphy because you're wanting to keep the Kricketune alive. You're hoping to lead with this Kricketune V because of his ability, lets you draw more cards. And you're just getting your Serperior out to 310 HP and you're doing mad damage with it. Altaria is here to grab supporters from your deck. Maybe drop the Pyukumuku. I'd probably drop Swablu down to 3 because I'm a little bit weird like that because I prefer to have more trainers in the deck. And your maximum attack is 3 energies, so you need a minimum of what? You only have 2. I'd probably bump this to 4 and bump this to 3, 4, 3. And then 10 or 11 energies. 12 is fine. It's a little bit high in my opinion. Maybe 11 or 10 would be better. It's really up to you and how you build your decks. But this deck, honestly, it's built well, and it's another great starter deck. But again, a lot of the good starter decks they give you are all weak to the Arcanine EX deck they give you, which I think is funny. But I have noticed a lot of people are playing Lost Box, so keep that in mind. Anyway, those are all the decks that they give you for free. You get the Gardevoir EX if you buy the Battle Pass for 600 gems, which you can get for free by doing the daily quests for 60 gems a day, 10 days. Gardevoir EX is in the bag. Battle Pass Miraidon's in the bag, and then the rest of these are just freebies they're giving you. Welcome to the world of Pokemon, everyone. I'm very happy with what they give us. 4 new decks, 4 good old decks. Yeah, thank you, Pokemon. Thank you for making it so much easier for new players to get into the game. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So that's gonna be the review for us. This was a weird ranty video, I know. Sorry I haven't been putting out videos. Remember, I moved over 500 miles down south, so I've been busy is what I'm trying to say. I'm still working on lighting in here. I'm still working on getting the green screen back up and running. Expect the videos to be coming out, but expect there to be no green screen and cool effects and stuff until I get my green screen going. But thank you all so much for being here today. I really do appreciate it. My name has been Professor Howie as always, and if you don't mind wiping your feet on that red subscription button as you walk out the door, I would really appreciate it. Thank you for coming by the lab today, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Have a good one. Bye.